One of the 12 disciples, who was called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests.
What will you give me if I give Jesus to you?
30 pieces of silver!
And from that moment he began to look for an opportunity to betray him. It was time for celebrating Passover. Jesus gathered in an upper room with his disciples to share the meal.
Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me.
Surely not I, Lord.
The one who has dipped his hands in the cup with me will betray me.
While they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks, broke the bread, and gave it to his disciples, saying,
Take this. It is my body.
Then he took a cup, gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying,
This is my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which shall be poured out for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me.
After eating, Jesus told his disciples they would soon leave him.
Not me. I will never leave you. Peter, before the cock crows, you will have denied me 3 times.
When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Jesus was very sad and went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray.
Stay awake and pray with me. Father, let this cup pass from me. Not my will, but your will be done. Could you not stay awake 1 hour with me? The spirit is willing, but the body is weak.
As he was talking, Judas arrived with a crowd carrying swords and clubs.
The one who kisses the man. Arrest him!
Rabbi.
Peter tried to stop them.
Peter, those who live by the sword will die by the sword.
The men grabbed Jesus and took him away to the chief priests. His disciples all ran away. Jesus was brought to the high priest's house for questioning. Peter followed at a distance and stood outside by the fire.
This man said he could destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Are you the Messiah, the Son of God? I am, and you will see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the Father.
The high priest tore his clothes.
Blasphemy! We don't need any more witness. What is your decision?
He deserves death! While Peter was below in the courtyard, a servant girl came by and saw him.
You are with Jesus of Nazareth. I do not know what you're talking about. This fellow is one of them.
Again, Peter denied it. Then others standing near to him said,
Surely you are one of them.
I do not know the man.
Immediately the rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered what Jesus had said.
Peter, before the cock crows, you will have denied me 3 times.
Peter broke down and wept. The chief priest brought Jesus before Pilate, the governor. There was a large crowd outside.
Are you the king of the Jews? You say so. They're saying terrible things about you. Don't you dare to answer?
But Jesus remained silent. Now it was a custom for the governor to release a prisoner to the crowd. At this time they had a prisoner named Barabbas.
Who do you want me to release? Barabbas or Jesus?
Barabbas! Barabbas!
Then what should I do with Jesus? Crucify him! Why? What evil has he done? Crucify him!
To satisfy the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas and ordered Jesus to be flogged. Then he turned Jesus over to the crowd to be crucified. The soldiers put a purple robe on him and made a crown of thorns for his head. Then they knelt before him and mocked him.
Hail, King of the Jews!
The soldiers hit Jesus on the head and spat on him. Then they stripped him and led him out to be crucified. Jesus was taken to a place called Golgotha and hung on a cross. Over his head they put a sign that read, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews." The soldiers cast lots to see who would get to keep Jesus' clothes.
If you're the Messiah, save yourself and come down from that cross.
At noon, darkness came over the whole land. At about 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out,
My God, why have you forsaken me?
With a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last. The earth shook, and the curtain of the temple was torn in half.
Surely this man was the Son of God.
Some women, including Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of Jesus, took his body down from the cross. A rich man named Joseph of Arimathea went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Joseph wrapped it in a clean linen and laid it in his own tomb. He then rolled a stone in front of it. Pilate ordered that guards be placed outside the tomb so his disciples could not steal the body and claim that Jesus had risen from the dead. On Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene and some other women went to anoint Jesus' body. To their surprise, the stone had already been rolled away, and a man in white was sitting in the tomb.
Don't be afraid.
You're looking for Jesus who's crucified.
He's not here.
He is risen.
Don't spread the word.
The women ran away to tell the disciples, but Mary Magdalene was still sad.
Woman, why are you crying?
They've taken my word, and I don't know where I put them.
Mary.
Teacher.
This is the story of the first Easter. Dun, 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 dun. Well, it's okay if you hear him.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no.
What will you bring to me?
No. What will you give me?
What will you bring if you?
No,
if
what will you give me? Okay.
Sammy, can you get out?
Surely is not I, Lord.
Yum, 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 yum.
Not that.
Stay awake and pray with me.
Play with me.
The spirit is willing, but the spirit is willing, but forget it again.
The one I kiss is a man. Is the one?
The one I kiss is the man.
The one I kiss is.
Okay, read.
Peter, the one that... No, wait. This man said he could destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days.
Peter broke down and wept. His eyeballs. Over his head they put a sign that read, "Just over."
We'll put that in the bloopers. We'll put that in the bloopers, okay?
He then rolled a stone in front of it.